Hi everybody, welcome back. I'm Dorothy. I'm a professional astrologer. You can find me on the web at nhastrologer.com. It's a live link in the information box right below this video. So please join me there. Today I want to talk about December 2015 for you, the sign of Cancer, or those with Cancer rising. So we're going to start off on December 4th with this fabulous fire energy. We have Venus in Sagittarius making a trine aspect to Jupiter in Leo. The Sun in Sagittarius making a trine aspect to Uranus. This creates, it's a wide grand trine in fire, but it still is a grand trine in fire for the day. So we have 4 planets in fire signs. This is a lot of energy and activity for December 4th for holiday shopping, holiday decorating, and gathering and planning and parties and just everything that has to do with excess, spending money, and having a good time. So I'm up for that. November was a bit intense for a lot of people, so I would recommend that this early part of December we just have a good time best we can. All right, so, and the planets agree with us, so move that through. Now on the same day, December 4th, we do have Mars entering the sign of Aquarius. It is in your 8th house, Cancer. So with it being in the 8th house, it's wanting you to focus a little bit in on your money and those outside resources that you get to use this time of year, especially credit cards, any type of thing that you're going to be going into debt with. So I want you to be very focused and pay attention that that doesn't go too off the charts for yourself. There's Venus in Sagittarius. Venus is the things we love. Sag can be very gaudy and over excessive, and it is connecting to Jupiter, which is in charge of Sagittarius in Leo. Again, that's excessive, but that's fun too. It just means we might spend too much money the first part of December, so be cautious of that, especially since Mars is in your 8th house of finances and outside resources. On December 5th, we have Mercury also in the sign of Sagittarius. This is the theme right now. We've got Sag all over the place. Mercury in Sag makes a trine aspect to Uranus in Aries. Now, this could definitely mean that we have some very lively conversations with somebody, but we also need to be careful about not putting our foot in our mouth and being too honest. It's good to be honest, but sometimes we're too honest and it's painful. This energy, this connection to Uranus could make that happen just out of our mouth. We'll say something and we're like, oh my God, did I really say that? Yes, you did. So be aware of that. But again, Mercury doesn't necessarily, it is all about communication, but it's also movement and driving. And so again, it speaks to us going out and doing a lot of shopping or a lot of decorating, things like that. So December 4th and 5th, and that energy will work its way into the day before and the day after that as well. So keep it in mind. Have a great time in the early part of December. We actually have a lot of great times in December. It's easier month. There's a lot going on, but it's definitely an easier month than November. So December 6th, we have a full moon at the 14th degree of Gemini, means the sun is at 14 degrees of Sagittarius, 7:27 a.m. on the east coast of the United States. For you, Cancer, that's your 12th house. The full moon is in your 12th house, so that will reflect things that, it will bring up things that you don't get to see very often. When the 12th house is activated or ignited by a transit, which this is, a full moon, it shows us, it reflects us the things that we don't necessarily want to see. It's not a big deal. It's just if you have something that you're fearful of, it's going to be reflected to you. You're going to see what that is. So if that something comes up, move through it simply. Karma is very, very easy and very quick these days. So if you have something you want to express or something you need to work through, then a full moon in your 12th house will help you to move through that very quickly. Holiday season or not, this is a really good opportunity for you to express something that needs to come up and out. And the best way to do this, since it's Gemini, is to either be vocal about it if you have someone to speak with about something, and if you cannot do that, you write it down and you burn it. Gemini is all about that communication. So use that energy. So if anything fearful comes up for you, Cancer, this energy is all about that. It wants you to communicate out what it is that you're fearful of, so it has no power over you anymore. So do that. The next day, on December 8th, Mercury and the Sun are conjunct, and that is in your 6th house, in Sagittarius as well. So when those two are conjunct like that, that energy is all about focusing in on what your daily routine is about. So it will help you to focus on your routine for the day. It's a very quick hit transit, but that's what it does for you. On December 10th, Venus will move into the sign of Capricorn. That is in your 7th house, Cancer. Now, this is the theme for the rest of the month. A lot of 7th house transits. 7th house is about relationships. When Venus is in Capricorn, it is about logical relationships. If you naturally have Capricorn in that part of your chart, which you do if you have Cancer rising, then that just means that the partnerships that you are involved in throughout your life are already going to be older people or people of authority, or you don't have a lot of casual relationships. You have relationships that are important to you and serious. Doesn't mean every single one of them, but the majority, and that's what you look for. Venus in Capricorn moving through that sign is stabilizing the relationships in your chart, stabilizing the relationships in your life. Now, on another note as well, it is also about the finances and the money that we're just really going hog wild with the beginning of December. Now, starting on the 10th and through the rest of the month of December, we're going to pull those purse strings in a little bit and be a little more practical, not so flamboyant, not so excessive. We're going to pay attention to what we're spending by the time the 10th rolls around. And then once Venus gets moving through Capricorn, we'll feel that a little bit more every day. So that's the way that that can work out for you. Next, we have December 12th. That is Mercury in Sagittarius makes a trine to Jupiter in Leo, and 2 days later on the 14th, the Sun catches up in Sagittarius, and it also makes a trine to Jupiter in Leo. So the 14th and the 13th and the 12th, there you go, I said it backwards, 12th, 13th, and 14th of December, and again, even a couple days on either side of that. It's very energetic, and it's fun, and it's easygoing energy. We have fun, we want to have fun, we express ourselves in every way that we possibly can. It's that creative self-expression. There's, again, more opportunities. 10 days after the other fire trine we had on the 4th, 10 days later, we're activating Jupiter again to continue on with the holiday celebrations and the feel-good December time of year that a lot of people want to engage in. And even if you don't have that in your life and you don't want to engage in that, still, this is good for feeling happy and expressing yourself in whatever way is necessary or whatever way comes to you. It's not always about the holidays, I realize that, but express it for yourself. You're a Cancer, you're emotional. You need to express these things. It's all about caring and nurturing, so you want that energy around you. So this is different energy than Cancer, but it's still, because it's very fiery, but you take it and you have fun with it. That's what we need to do. All right, then I'm going to go on to the next transit, and this one is going to take a minute or two to talk about. It is on December 15th. Uranus squares Pluto. This is number 6 of the squares out of 7. All right, this started in June. There we go, 2012. We're on hit number 6, square hit number 6. It's an exact square, and we'll have one more in March 2015. So what all of this is all about. All right, so this is all about the global shift and change that we feel. Everybody's feeling it. And it is all about breaking down the old paradigm, breaking down old systems. This actually started in 2008 when Pluto entered the sign of Capricorn, but Uranus didn't join in until June 2012. And when he joined in, by that point, we were pissed off enough where we, in the world, actually started rebelling and putting up, just making a statement and just telling government how we do feel and telling financial institutions how we do feel. So there is this global movement. Now it's slowed down a little bit recently because this is not new energy anymore, and it should have been taking some effects. But we'll see how it all washes out by the time 2015 is complete. But in the meantime, This sounds like daunting, right? But we've been working it since 2012 and we're not done. So what we do on a personal level is we take these things that, what in our own life do we need to break down? I don't have control about what the government does. I don't have control over me. So the same thing for yourself. So what in your life, especially since 2012, has broken down and needs to continue to dissolve and go away, so you can see the true core and the true base and balance of what is strong and structured in your life and what has a good foundation for you to build the new you on. That Uranus in Aries, it's been there for a little while, will continue to be in Aries for a long time, but it just is all about us finding that new person and creating new things for ourselves and being that rebel in our own life and taking the risks that we take and allowing our own light and our own center to be the calmness in the storm for those around us. Not everybody listens to stuff like this. Not everybody believes in stuff like this. And this is the astrology, and there's many, many spiritual practices that I do, and I'm sure you do as well. So allow your light to shine. Share your light with others. And that's the change, and that's how we make that change, that ripple effect. If you need a little bit of help with that, you know how to contact me through my website. We can work on that. It's something that I work on. That's something that I do with the profession that I'm in. So we can help with that. But in the meantime, I want you just to focus in, because that Pluto has been in your 7th house for a fair amount of time now. So that means your partnerships and your relationships are going through major transitions. And Uranus is squaring from the 10th house, which is your public sector and how people see you out in the world. So relationships go through quite a change when you have two heavy-duty planets like that in those positions. So you've gone through some major personal changes, and they are finishing up now. Another year, and I know it's like, oh, it's been forever, but it's not intense like it has been, because we've become accustomed to intense energies. Even though we do have moments when eclipses and full moons and things come around, we do have moments when things get intense and then it lets go a little bit. So use that energy in the best way that you can, all right, by becoming something and shifting into something that is completely new and different than what you ever imagined you could be. On December 16th, Mercury does enter the sign of Capricorn. Again, that's in your 7th house, so that is serious communication and serious discussions and talks. Serious, not meaning it has to be deadly. I just mean serious is like we're going to sit down and just say, hey, this is how I feel, and this is what I need out of you in a partnership. That's a serious conversation. Yeah, it is. This is what I want, this is what I need. And that is what December 16th brings with Mercury moving into the sign of Capricorn. I want to move on to December 20th. We have Venus in Capricorn squaring Uranus in Aries. And we also have Venus conjunct Pluto. And that is, again, 10th house to 7th house and 7th house. Again, partnerships. All about these sudden shifts going on within your partnerships. So the communication skills and the communications that you have from December 16th and Mercury in Capricorn is also the energy will be added to when Venus squares Uranus and when Venus conjuncts Pluto in that relationship part of your chart. This is a turning point in your partnerships and your relationships. There is no doubt. So use it. Use it to your advantage. Use it in the best way that you can, so you come out of it with what you need to come out of it with. All right, this is not devastating. It is just a change. Then we have Yule. That's December 21st. It's Yule, it's the winter solstice, and a new moon. All of this happens between 6:03 and 8:36 p.m. So that new moon at 0 degrees of Capricorn is at 8:36 p.m. East Coast time. It's winter solstice here, summer solstice in the southern hemisphere. Hey, somebody down there should invite me. I'll come do a lecture. Pay for my flight. Sorry. It's just a thought. I've been saying that in all these videos. Somebody's going to take me up on it. With the new moon at 0 degrees of Capricorn, that again is in your 7th house. So this winter solstice is there. It's the dark of the sun in this hemisphere. So it is all about going within and understanding, once again, this is a focus in on your relationships. Major focus on your relationships and your partnerships, and the ones that are stable and the ones that are not. And when you realize which ones are and which ones are not, you will get rid of the ones that are not. And it will be an easy choice because it will just be a natural process. Okay? No fear. Please, no fear. Next, I want to get into Saturn will move into the sign of Sagittarius on the 23rd. Again, that is, no, that is not in your, that will be in your 6th house, and that is the work sector. You know, what you do on your daily basis and your daily routine. So that is important for you to focus in on that. It's going to be there for a couple years, so it's not a major thing on this one day, but when a sign planet moves into a new sign, it's important to mention it. It just means that higher education will be important, but it will be a way of exploring higher education by maybe travel or having fun. Maybe travel will be more part of your schedule over the next couple of years for work, more travel for work, and you learn that way too. So that's just it in a nutshell. We'll talk about Saturn and Sagittarius over the next couple of years in more detail. If you want to know more details, you know how to reach me. On December 25th, which is Christmas Day in the United States and in a few other countries, I know, Mercury will conjunct Pluto in Capricorn. Again, that's your 7th house. I want you to use this energy in the best way possible, because can be a very serious conversation. So if you need to have a serious conversation, especially on Christmas Day with a family member, and you can, well, if you have to do it that day, do it that day. But always come at this, especially with Pluto, come at this with love and compassion. Come at this in a way that if you would, I would only bring it up if I know that there is the potential for something to shift and change, and it is healthy, a healthy transition. But if you come at whatever your issue is, if you have one, from a place of fear, it's going to cause more problems. So if you have something to say and you know you need to say it and you want to say it, and this day will encourage that for some people, come at it from love and compassion. And that is the number one thing that you need to do, because you can solve a situation on this day. But if you come at it from fear, you're not going to solve anything. You're going to make it worse. So either say something with love and compassion or say nothing at all. And that doesn't mean you're not going to, you have control over you. You have no control over others. So if somebody else might not, they won't hear this. So be prepared. It can be something that happens. And that sounds so serious, and I'm not going to end the month on that. So I'm going to end the month on December 31st. Happy New Year. The moon's in Taurus. Eat, drink, and be merry. Be responsible, but eat, drink, and be merry. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart with the gratitude that I have for everybody who listens, people who comment, those who call, those who have sessions. I'm living my passion, I'm doing my passion, and I cannot do it without you. It amazes me every day how many people watch these videos and respond, and I'm just with gratitude, amazing amount of gratitude. Thank you very much, and blessed be. Namaste.